إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على الحبيب المصطفى وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, this is the lesson number 12 in Usool al-Fiqh in English. I'm here trying my best to talk about the main subjects of Usool al-Fiqh and try to make it as clear as I can. We just finished talking about the linguistic dilalat and conceptions in the context of Usool al-Fiqh. Of course, the linguistic matters related to Quran and Sunnah is very, very wide, big, which is when it's discussed in the context of the Arabic language, like البلاغة, البيان, علم البلاغة, علم البيان, علم النحو, علم الصرف. All these sciences of language are different, but we are now talking about what the Usool Fiqh, or we talked about what Usool Fiqh scholars discussed in the context of Usool and what are normally being used or have been used in identifying ahkam and extracting ahkam from ayat and hadith. Of course, other matters, other linguistic matters are also very important, and they are used. I mean, somebody who doesn't know qawaid and nahw and sarf, we can never imagine that such a person can actually go and extract ahkam from kitab and sunnah, because every single one of the ulama of Usool Fiqh, the scholars of Usool Fiqh, they were actually very deeply knowledged in, and they are ulama in language. But the linguistic concepts that are discussed are the ones that are majorly used, like mostly used by everybody who would study Usool Fiqh and knows what is relevant to the use of extraction from the Adillah الشرعية that we are actually going to go over inshallah after this section that is coming today. So now we are going to move to the al-Hukm al-Shar'i, the section of al-Hukm al-Shar'i. Section of the Hukm al-Shar'i, which is the legal ruling. What is the legal ruling? Like someone comes to a mufti, and we are going to have some talk at the end about who is the mufti, who is the mujtahid, and who is the muqallid, who can make a legal ruling, and who are the demands or the knowledge he has to be equipped with in order to be named a mufti, which is not like what we see nowadays on social media. But anyways, that has a place to speak about, inshallah. But the legal ruling is in general when somebody comes to a mufti and he asks about a fatwa, so what the mufti does, the mufti doesn't give him a fatwa right away. He asks him about the situation. He asks him about, tell me the details of what you are talking about. What is your situation? What is this specific? He can't come to him and say, oh, what if this happened and this happened? Then this is not a fatwa. Then he is giving him a legal ruling. But if he asks about a specific person that has a specific circumstances, then the mufti will give him a fatwa. So the fatwa is actually consists of a legal ruling plus a specific situation related to it. These are this is what a fatwa is. So we have to be distinguished between the legal ruling and the fatwa. So we are talking here about the legal ruling. So the legal ruling, they define it by it's like in Ibn al-Hajib and Shawkani and other people of Usool, that it is the address, the address of the lawgiver to the totality of legally responsible individuals. Legally responsible individuals involving demand, which is iqtida, choice, takhyir, and legal causation, al-wadh. So this is we are going to go over each one of these to understand what it is. So this is the definition of the legal ruling. There is another one which is the same, but I will explain to you how they are related, and it's just less detailed than this one, the alternative, which is the addressing the lawgiver concerning the actions of the legally responsible through demand, choice, and legal causation. So the difference between the two, no, actually this is not, sorry, this is not the alternative. It's wrong there. The other one is addressing of the lawgiver concerning the action of legally responsible through the whole of the legal proofs, the legal rulings. So the other one is more detailed. Let's go over each one of them. The first one say addressing the lawgiver to the totality of legally responsible individual. Legally responsible individual, because when you talk about hukm shari, is talking about what a Muslim, he has to be a Muslim, he has to be baligh, adult, and he has to be sane, al-aqil, al-Muslim, al-baligh, al-aqil. He has to have these three qualities. If he is not a Muslim, then there is another division of fiqh related to whether the kafir is addressed by the legal rulings or not, and if he is not aqil, if he is like majnoon or asleep or fainted, or faint, like unconscious, So because at the time of faint, or he is not aqil, he doesn't know what he's doing. So he has to be aqil, he has to be awake and knowing exactly what is happening, or has a seizure or something like that. So this is the legally responsible individual means. It says here involving demand, اقتضاء. Demand is what al-amr wal-nahi. If you remember, the al-amr, demand, and nahi, to prohibit, to deny. So اقتضاء here is al-amr wal-nahi, with the levels of al-amr, because if you remember, when we talked, we said that al-amr can be like amr al-jazim, amr like has to be done, or al-amr means al-talab, to ask to be done, like if you can, which is when two pair of people talk equally, it can be, it's not demanding, it's just you are asking for a favor or something like that. And in Sharia there is also it's called talab. Talab is not asking in Sharia. Talab is just it's better to do if you can. So it is equal to the same concept in talking to a peer, not from the higher to the lower. The higher to the lower, it's amr jazim, it has to be done. So al-iqtida are four levels: to do, for a must, or preferably to do, and to quit doing or not doing, nahy, stop doing it, and or it is better not to do it. You better not to do that. Better for you. Might be in akhirah, and we are going to talk about if it's dunya or not. I'm going to explain some other concept in here. So this is iqtida. This is involving demand. So demand, the level of demand. Choice is takhir, which is up to the responsible individual. Takhir, choice. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the fifth one, because we talked about four now. Obligatory and recommended, which is obligatory has to be done, recommended, which is preferably done, and prohibited, not to be done, or hated, or unrecommended, not recommended, which is makruh. Now the fifth one is takhir, or al-ibaha. Abah means to give the choice of doing or not doing. And legal causation. Legal causation are five levels as well, but they are different. We're going to go over them. Which are the legal causation are actually I always like to see them as the ties, the mental ties between the rulings, according to the proofs of Sharia. These are the intellectual ties, like the cause, the condition, this kind of thing. The second alternative definition is almost the same, but it actually puts together the iqtida and taklif and wada' all together in one thing, which is the totality of the legal rulings. So it is the addressing of the lawgiver concerning the actions of legally responsible through the whole of the legal rulings. So people would ask, what are the legal rulings? Then we go over what are the legal rulings, which are the اقتضاء and تخيير and وضع. And اقتضاء has 5 and الوضع has 5. So saying that, we already mentioned that the اقتضاء is to ask positive command, طلب, including obligatory and recommendation. This is the demand. This is اقتضاء, demanding. But the demand has level. It's either طلب, which is طلب, which is either wajib, either obligated, or recommended. The second level is recommended. The other section is النهي, prohibition, include forbiddance, which is haram, not to do, or disliked. So prohibition is 2 levels. One is haram, definite, not to do, and dislike, which is it's preferable not to do, which is al-makruh. The takhir, we mentioned takhir is choice. It's permissible. You do or you not to do according to your situation, and it has also levels that shall be actually discussed very, very elegantly in al-muwafaqat. Al-wada', which is declarative rulings, which I refer to as the mental or intellectual relations, like in between the legal the rulings according to the Sharia proofs. Linking, it says linking events or states to legal consequences. So it's the linking the events, linking the rulings together, which is the relationships, what I called. So so what are the categories of the legal rulings? We mentioned before that there are 5 levels. The prescriptive rulings, which is there are two prescriptive rulings, and the other one is declarative. Declarative is وضع, prescriptive are the تكليف. أحكام التكليفية والأحكام الوضعية. الأحكام التكليفية they call it prospective rulings. أحكام الوضعية declarative ruling. The prospective rulings are 5: wajib, obligatory, mandub, recommended, permissible, which is تخيير, مخير, the unliked, disliked, مكره, الحرام is prohibited. The declarative are 5: the sabab, the cause, shart is condition, mani', preventative, and rukhsa and azima, which is concession and determination. الصحة والبطلان, validity and invalidity. The Ahnaf added fasad, which is the corruption. It's a corrupted, and it has, for Ahnaf, it has its own consequences if it is related to uqud, like contracts, like in marriage or divorce or finance contracts and stuff. So these are the 2 levels or sections of the الأحكام الشرعية. So الأحكام الشرعية has these two, and each one is 5. Prescriptive, prescriptive and declarative, and each one has 5. And we are going to go over every one. Also, I have to mention here that in the section of the prescriptive, the wajib, the obligatory, الجمهور made it 5, الأحناف made the prescriptive 7. One of them, they added الحرام. They said الحرام can be disliked because of two things. He said the dislike, it can be because of being not tanzih, like it's not good for a person to do such a thing, المكروه, such a thing, which is the actually the definition. It matches the definition of المكروه for the jumhur of المكروه of jumhur. It's disliked. Or كراهة التحريم. So there is كراهة التنزيه and there is كراهة التحريم. كراهة التحريم, that the prohibited, disliked, is disliked up to the point that it becomes like the haram, like prohibited. So they divided the makruh to 2, the dislikes to 2, tanzih or tahrim. And they say it came in the section of makruh because it's in the context is about makruh, but when you look at it closely, it is actually prohibited. So they call it karahat tahrim, and we will get examples of that when we go to discuss of each one of these. Also in the wajib, al-ahnaf, the jumhur said al-wajib is 1. The ahnaf said no, it's divided to 2 things, to fard and wajib. Fard is what is obligated by Quran, and wajib is what is obligated by sunnah, by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Both have the same obligation. They have to be done completely the same, but this, the proof came from kitab, this proof came from sunnah for it. So it turned out for the prescriptive rulings, turned out for ahnaf to be 7, for the jumhur, all of other fuqaha, it's 5. And mostly in the books of Usool Fiqh, of course, of Usool Fiqh, we mentioned that Usool Fiqh is written in two schools. The Madrasat al-Ahnaf, then they discuss the 7, the Asha'ira and Mutakallimun school, and Shafi'iyya, the Shafi'i and Asha'ira and Mutakallimun, they put the 5, and they mention the Ahnaf, of course, in the context of this matter when they discuss it. So the first one, so we will talk first about the prescriptive rulings, which are the 5 we mentioned. الأحكام التكليفية. The first one is al-wajib. Al-wajib, like we said, is what the lawgiver requires to be done in abiding way, such that omitting it is sinful and subject to punishment. This is the main definition of wajib that you will find in almost every single book of Usool al-Fiqh. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like what is الواجب. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وأقيموا الصلاة, and establish salah. And he actually gave a very, very harsh punishment for those who don't do the salah. ويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون. Woe to those who pray, those who are heedless of their prayers. So al-musallin here are the ones, he means the ones that declare that they are actually praying, but in fact they forget about praying. Like they don't pray Zuhr, they pray Asr, Maghrib, Isha, days after days and weeks after weeks, and they don't do the salah really, but they declare they are Muslims. So while al-musallin here, the pray, those who establish prayer, those who pray, mean those who accepted Islam, and consequently they are supposed to be musallin, but they عن صلاتهم سهون, but they are heedless, not headless, heedless, like they forget about their prayers. So this is the definition of wajib according to the books of Sunnah. I came up with another definition, which is, because when you look at this definition, you will see that it is actually related to the punishment in the hereafter. So such that omitting it is sinful. يثاب فاعله, the one who do the wajib, يثاب, he gets thawab, and the one who doesn't do it gets iqab, gets punishment, who doesn't do it. So it is about thawab and iqab. So this definition defines the wajib in terms of the hereafter consequences. But we live in this dunya. How do we, that's what, it took me about 40 years to think about this point. What is the definition of wajib? Because we are asked about wajib every single day, you know, and wajib is not only salah, and it's not only sawm, it's riba and this and this and that and all other things. So I kept asking myself all these years, what can be the definition that actually addresses more to be more related to our life, rather than the punishment akhirah. Punishment akhirah, okay, but of course, okay, but so I came up like 20 years ago or 15 years ago with another definition of this of wajib, and this definition is related to the interest, the public interest. So I put this definition. I didn't put it in my book. I put it in my book lately, but I'm going to add it to my book, which is what the lawgiver requires to be done in bringing about the best interest of the subjects that are responsibly responsibly addressed, and to prevent them from getting the worst consequence by if not to do the wajib. So I actually put this definition related to the public. So I said that al-wajib هو الذي يجب على المسلم البالغ العاقل أن يفعله لتحصل له أعلى مصلحة وتدرأ عنه أسوأ مفسدة. To bring about to him the best interest and to push away from him the worst consequence. That's what the wajib is. And if you look at all the wajib that in Sharia, you will find this actually is even more comprehensive than what they used. They put here in this, because what brings them the best interest can be the best interest in dunya, which is the thawab, so it covers this definition, and to avoid the worst consequence, which is in akhirah, avoid iqab, and in dunya, it brings about the best consequence, because people always, with no exception, they think that Sharia came in order to give us a way or an entrance to Jannah and to avoid Jahannam, Nar, hellfire. Yeah, of course, we're not contesting that. That's the end result after we die. But the point is, it actually came لتحقيق المصلحة ودرء المفسدة. It came for the people while living on earth to bring about to them the best life and to make them avoid the worst consequence, the worst bad or darar or adha, like harmful, that can get to them. And forgetting this fact actually caused a lot of the feeling that, okay, we're talking about the akhirah consequence, which it's not now. So people tend to forget or to feel more relaxed about things that are going to happen to them after life and all that. Yeah, well, I'll think about it when I'm older and stuff. No. Doing the wajib and avoiding the haram, because this goes to the wajib and the haram. Number 1 and number 5 in the section of the prescriptive rulings. Doing that during life, like following that in life, following Ahkam Shar'iyya, is a way to bring about to you the best life here and to make you avoid the worst life here in this dunya. We're not talking about akhirah. We're talking about akhirah. Yes, of course, part of it is, which is the bigger part. Maybe this is why the ulama and fuqaha, of course, they are much better than my thinking and they think much greater than right. But I found that this point, and I stood fast beside my definition, that it's more comprehensive because it gives you the better results in dunya and akhirah. So we talk about dunya as well. Yes, dunya is 70 years, 80 years, 100 years. Akhirah is endless. So they forgot about what maslaha in dunya. But you would be surprised that they talk, most of the fiqh, it's about what to do in dunya. Most of fiqh, most of ruling is about what you do here. How do you divorce, how you marry, how you make a contract with in selling and buying, how to do rihan, how to do ghanima, how to bounty in war, how to do everything. So we're talking really all fiqh, all rulings, it's about dealings in dunya. So how come the definition doesn't talk about it at all? Doesn't address it at all? So that's why I came up with this, and I put it in an article like 15 years ago. And then I added to my book. I hope I publish it, and I hope people who would listen to this tape would know that there is a more comprehensive definition, which is wajib, and haram is what the lawgiver requires to be done in order to bring about the best public interest or individual, responsible individual, legally responsible individual best, and to avoid the worst for them, for people. And this includes the thawab and iqab in akhirah, the punishment in akhirah. So that, having said that, we would move to the wajib itself. The wajib itself, people in the books of Usool, they talked about the wajib. They addressed it in many ways, in quite few ways, and everyone has his own reason why he addressed it this way. But I follow the categorization of Muhammad Abu Zahra, because I feel that it is actually more easy for the person to understand and keep it in mind. And he actually addressed it in four. He said the wajib is the wajib is divided by the time of performance. This is first, or by specification of what is required to be done. The third one is determinability, or the measurements. Determinability or the measurements. The fourth one, of who is addressed by this wajib. So these are the four facades that he this kind of addressing the wajib are looking at it, and everyone has its own mithal and its own way of looking at, and I think we are going to go over that next time, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.